So she makes her way farther and farther down the stone path, just sort of like pruning up and like basically tending to the flowers. And as she gets like not too far from you guys, sort of towards the outskirts, in the same sort of singing voice that she's been singing the Elvish folk song in, sort of long and flowing. She sort of calls out, not to like anyone in particular, but just sort of like to you all in general, and says, "Supper will be ready soon."
Cecilia's face falls. I think she means us.
Please,
How
join
far
us.
away is she from the hut?
Well, how far away are you guys from the hut?
As far away as possible, while
I don't
still
think,
having a line of
50
sight.
meters or something.
Yeah, so to still have like good line of sight to where you could see her and the hut in front, you'd have to be within about, I don't know, maybe like 120 feet. So you're like 70 feet off the map.
Okay.
And she's probably like 50 feet off the map. Maybe not quite that far, maybe like 30 feet off the map. So you guys are like about 50, 60 feet away from each other.
I think the game's up, Madden.
I would be inclined to agree. Something fishy's going on
Wait.
here. We should speak
Yeah,
to them.
I quickly get out of the tree and walk towards her.
So you can sort of see her a little bit clearly now. More clearly, that is. And yeah, she's like a beautiful young woman. Like I said before, she's an elf. Appears to be, it's hard to say with elves, perhaps the equivalent of like a human in her early 20s. She has long, like red, browned hair and like a soft, greeting smile. When you look at her face, she's like always smiling. Please don't be scared. I don't bite.
Well, I do.
I pop down out of my tree. Go up towards her.
And he drinks water.
My name is Lily. They call me Lily the Green.
Hello, Lily. My name is...
Oh, I know where she is.
I live here with my sisters.
This is my party. This is Barak.
Say hello in Elvish.
She returns the greeting in Elvish and sort of like curtsies gracefully. It's very nice to meet you. Will the rest of your party be joining us? We made enough food for everyone.
What are you?
We're like I said, me and my sisters live here. We're from an Elvish tribe farther to the north. We journeyed here to try to help heal the land. This bog is very sick. As you can see, we've slowly been trying to transform it into something a little bit more healthy. Our work is slow, but ongoing.
Okay, Cecilia climbs down from the tree because she knows that she's here anyway.
Hello there. I'm Lily.
Cecilia bows and says, I'm Cecilia.
It's very nice to meet you.
I start putting my armor back on. Don't mind me, this is just my normal attire.
I hope I'm not being too forward, but my sister told me there would be 5 of you. I I only count 3.
Yeah, she must have meant Toby.
Yes, he didn't survive.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
So am I.
He was a
gave
good
him
guy.
He was our goblin ward. We rescued him from a pike.
Yes, we saved his life, but we could only save it once, I'm afraid.
A goblin! Strange bedfellows.
All life is precious.
Indeed, sir. And she starts slowly walking down the stone path towards the hut.
He never harmed us.
Yes, Ariel, you can.
Huh?
What? Is he gonna fucking shoot her?
Yeah, so as you guys are talking, a crossbow bolt comes whizzing. No. Sure.
He's gonna like stealth and leave.
Well, let's go get eaten by the witches, shall we?
Okay, after you.
Yeah, it's not such a bad way to die.
I follow her.
Oh, one sec. Where's some?
Our other party member that she was talking about was obviously Timon, who went missing before we came here, so...
Mm-hmm.
It was obviously Toby. Come on.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing, right?
Yeah,
They're-
short, ugly,
Yeah?
non-human.
Yeah.
Green skin, you know.
I think I like Toby more.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, get some double daggers, and then, just have him replace Timon.
Yeah.
So, Phoebus, from where you are, you can hear the conversation that's going on, and you can tell that the inflection that this woman has is not native to elves, so far as you can tell.
Rage quits.
Oh.
He's upstairs.
Did you hear that, Hariel?
Thank you. No.
So, as a native Elvish speaker yourself, you can tell that the inflection that she uses, both when she speaks Elvish to Beric and just sort of the way that she speaks Common, is, so far as you can tell, not the inflection of a native Elvish speaker.
I should have.
You shoot her?
Yep.
Okay, roll to hit.
Any advantage for being out of the blue or anything, or just a normal roll?
You're hidden from her, so yeah, you have advantage. And everybody roll initiative.
Oh. I jump in front of the bolt. No, I can't do that, I guess.
Well, here we go, guys. We're fighting hags. The ones in the house are gonna come out.
Oh, I'm pretty
Well,
sure you guys
we're
are
still-
all gonna die right now.
Yeah, this is rip
In fact,
party.
15.
We're still a bit away from the hut.
Yeah, you are.
Thank you, me.
They'll get you, Phoebus. None of us are safe.
Alright, so as you guys are walking back to the hut, out of nowhere, the whiz of a crossbow bolt catches the woman who's walking with you, like underneath one of her arms, like in the side of her torso. It sticks in, and her red silk robe sort of stains on that side with like a darker red as blood starts to seep out of her wound. Manon, you'll be the first to react.
I will run up to her and cast Heal Wounds. Cure wounds on her.
Yeah, roll it.
I'm just going to go level 1. It's more like showing her that we mean no harm and that anyone else doing anything is a douche.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they would have all just eaten us for supper anyway, but what can you do?
Yep, so you basically place your hand on the side of her torso, and you feel like the crossbow bolt stuck into her skin, and her skin actually feels like much harder. Like you expected it to be like a soft, supple-skinned young woman, and she actually has like a very firm, almost like what you would expect of someone who's like an elite level athlete. I think she has a very firm, hard side to her torso, like rippled muscle, and you cast the spell, and you can feel like the arrow being pushed out of her tissue as it heals, and you can see that the bleeding has stopped. Cecilia?
Cecilia will just prepare the the step of the wind that basically gives her a dodge. The preemptive dodge. I can't remember exactly how that worked.
So a dodge can be taken as an action, and basically what it does is it's puts you on sort of alert to attacks incoming. You focus your energy to make sure you don't get hit, and it gives anybody attacking you disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. Well,
your monk ability lets you do that as a bonus action if you want.
Really? Without spending ki?
You would spend ki to do it as a bonus action,
Okay.
or you can do it as an action and not spend ki.
Oh. Okay, so I have to... If I use it as an action, I use a dodge, which then makes me hard to hit.
Exactly, but then you wouldn't have your action for doing other things, like double moving or attacking.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just use my action then as a dodge.
Yeah, so you guys see Cecilia sort of what you would expect somebody if the party they were in had arrows coming at them. She sort of goes on edge, what was that? Am I going to have an arrow shot at me? Sort of takes up a defensive stance. Which brings us back to Phoebus.
I will jump down the tree, take cover behind it, and hold my action to shoot the hag, the bitch, when she does anything.
Okay, so you guys see Phoebus hops out of the tree and then jumps behind cover, sort of puts her crossbow up against one of the big roots of the tree that goes into the ground, sort of stabilizing it against there.
She's a hag!
And yells out, "She's a hag!" Beric.
I just shield her with my shield up against where the arrow came from, the bolt.
Okay.
Just looking, to save her as if we were all attacked.
Okay, so it's her turn, and she sort of looks very confused. So she reaches down and sort of almost touches where her wound was, and feels that Manon has healed it, and she looks at you, Manon, still smiling, and she sort of nods to you, and she says softly in English or in common, she says, "Thank you. That was very kind of you. Is this someone you know?" And then she yells out, "Sisters, please, I could use some help out here. I think we have trouble." and then she turns and she shouts over to you, Phoebus. Who are you? Why have you assaulted our home?
I respond with the crossbow bolt that I was saving.
All right, yep. And in response, another crossbow bolt comes flying out.
Because I'm shielding her, is that cover or something?
You're not a paladin.
Well, if I'm actually in between you and her, I mean, oh, never mind.
So the crossbow bolt this time comes whizzing, and it once again like catches her like in the shoulder, and another like stain of red sort of appears, and she winces. Manon?
I use hold person on Hariel.
All right.
How far away is he from me?
Yeah,
I
that's
can
true.
find out right
Hariel was still 70 feet off the map, so you guys are 130 feet away.
Probably out of range then. Let's check.
You're out of range. It's a 60 feet range.
Well then, I reply to the lady. This, I do not understand. The person that is firing at you must have gone temporarily insane from the taint of the fog and this place. Clearly, we would not attack someone with such healing powers of this area. And just stand there.
All right, Cecilia?
Yeah. Oh god. This is how it ends.
Well.
Okay, Cecilia just takes a position to shield Lily as much as possible with Manon and Barrick, but she's looking over her shoulder toward the hut, expecting to see some more hags. Well, probably disguised, but still see the others pouring out the door any second.
Are you going to keep doing the dodge action?
Yeah, I mean, is that's something you have to just renew every turn? It doesn't,
Yep, it's an
last?
action and it
Yep.
lasts until your next turn.
Cool, then I'll just have my dodge then this time too.
All right, Phoebus, you're back up.
I Mask of the Wild out of there.
All right, what's Mask of the Wild?
I can go into stealth even if I'm lightly concealed by natural things. So even if I'm in half cover instead of being in full cover.
Is that like a spell or something?
No, it's a elven racial thing. I'll read it to you.
Okay. Yeah, so you draw on your life spent living in the woods, and other natural environments as an elf, and you sort of keep your profile low, and stay behind the trees. Are you
Just
fleeing?
Yeah. I get out of there.
Right, so yeah, you guys see Phoebus sort of take off into the bushes and then just sort of slink low and disappear behind all of the vegetation.
Well,
Barrick?
Cool. Just, I cast Cure Wounds on her. but level 1.
All right, yeah, roll it up. Yeah, so you as well as Manon, you reach up and you touch her on her shoulder, and you feel like, again, you're expecting like, a very soft, the squishy body of a small, young female, and instead you get like almost like, the body of like what you would expect if you were to like put your hands on Manon, strong, muscled body, and the bolt itself is just sort of like stuck into this like rock hard muscle that she has, and as you cast your heal spell on her, you can feel the arrow get rejected from her tissue, and the bleeding stops. Around this time, 2 more women come out of the hut and sort of turn to like see what's going on. With looks of worry on their face. And Lily shouts back to them, It's all right, it's all right. I believe the threat has passed. She seems to have run off. And that's where we will leave initiative for now. Well, I was going to invite you in for supper, but it seems I'll need to bandage my wounds first. But please, don't be scared away by this. Please, come in.
Cecilia just pipes up. How did you know, or how did your sisters know that we were coming, and how many we were?
So at this, like, one of the other sisters in the back says, I can explain that for you, young lady.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Let me introduce myself. They call me, well, my name is Rose, and they call me Rose of White. This woman looks older. Again, it's hard to tell how old elves are, but, if she was a human, she'd be perhaps in her 50s or 60s. She has shoulder-length gray hair that's almost white in color. And she doesn't have like the same sort of constant smile as the other girl. She has more of like a concerned look on her face. And Lily walks over, and one of the other women starts like looking at her wounds, making sure that she's okay, and sort of like nodding as she does so. Like the two of them are sort of like whispering together. So Rose says to you all as you approach, to answer your question, my sisters and I are dabblers of the arcane arts. We pride ourselves in our ability to manipulate magic in ways that can help us achieve our goals. To that end, we tend to keep a watchful eye on the comings and goings of what may happen to our place of residence, if you will. My sisters and I have a talent for contacting powerful creatures that do not live on this plane of existence. And she sort of looks you all over. And Manon, your holy symbol catches her eye, and she sort of turns to face you directly, and she says, you follow the drowned god, do you not?
I do.
I have spoken with your deity in times past.
I suddenly perk up in intense interest. Tell me of your talkings.
It was a very long time ago, and I had business on the sea. I needed to consult a creature more powerful than myself to find out what may happen on this journey. I reached out into the void, and I heard a voice come from far beyond. It was harsh, but its words were true.
As is the drowned god's way.
And she nods. And she says, another creature not too dissimilar from your god gave me knowledge of your coming here today. I'm terribly sorry to have spied on you and invaded your privacy, but it's just when it comes to our home, we must be certain that we're safe.
This makes a lot of sense.
And I must say, I had been expecting, perhaps not your arrival, but the arrival of someone.
Someone that means you ill?
Indeed. I believe we can help each other greatly.
And Cecilia pipes up. Why would you have any enemies? Who would ever oppose you?
Well, it is my sisters and our belief, and my belief, that this organization that has sprung up in these lands is at least in part responsible for not just the poisoning of this forest, but the poisoning of people.
People and creatures, yes?
Indeed. We came to do what we can to heal the land and to make the people better. And this seems to be at odds with them. I thought it would not be long before they sent somebody under their control to try to do away with us. And now here you are. But I know that you're not here of your own volition.
These are true words.
What I'm saying is that I can help you.
I will accept this help from a person that has spoken directly to my god.
Wonderful.
Cecilia says, I will accept freedom.
And so at this point, the third sister speaks up and sort of steps over after finishing looking over Lily and says, please allow me to introduce myself as well.
I am man.
My name is Violet. They call me Violet So Blue. And she has long, dark brown hair, always has sort of like a sad look on her face. And if she was a human, you would say she was in her late 20s and maybe early 30s.
Cecilia bows and says, I am Cecilia.
I'm very pleased to meet you. We can remove this curse, if you will, that's been placed upon you, but... And then Lily's voice speaks up and she says, we will need from you something precious to one. And then Violet says again, give you something precious to none. And then Rose speaks up and says, and require you risk what is precious to everyone. Do you accept our terms?
This riddle kind of seems bad.
Life? What?
It's better to write down the riddle.
Yeah, it seems kind of like they want us to give our lives.
Here, I'll write it in
Yeah,
Roll20
sound
so
the
you can read it.
words. So we get something that's precious to none in exchange for a heavy price. Why would we pay such a heavy price for something that's that's not worth anything to anyone.
The curse you bear, it will not end. They will carry it over you until your dying days.
I do not like to be indebted to someone.
This is true.
Adil, you give us 3 tasks, 1 for each of us. You're done. Payment is accepted, payment is made, the deal concludes. Your friend Glassstaff will hold his curse over you forever.
It's true. He already asked us to do some things, and we did them, and then he asked more from us. And I don't believe it will ever end.
There
They
you
do
have
seem
it.
to be a blight on this land.
So do we have a deal?
Yes.
I'd rather die than be a puppet.
Please, would you mind holding out your hand? I promise. It won't hurt.
No more blood magic.
No blood, I assure you. And she steps forward on the stone path. Rose does.
Mm-hmm. Cecilia holds out the other hand, the one that wasn't cut.
Yeah, I
So the hand that touches you does not feel what it looks like. It's long and bony. You feel strange bumps on it. You even occasionally feel like a long clawed fingernail touching you. But what she does is she reaches out with 2 fingers, almost like she's pinching the tip of your first finger, and she pulls like she's pulling on a thread. And then she, with that same finger, reaches over to Barrick and does the same thing. You feel the same weird hand, Barrick. And she pulls like she's pulling on a thread. And then she does the same thing to Manon. And you guys can't see anything coming out of your finger, but you can feel like a weird, almost like a buzzing or tingling on the tip of your finger. And then she takes like those, almost like she pulled 3 threads, and it looks like she's almost like braiding something together. And once she's done that for a little while, she like grips the thing that she was braiding in the palm of her hand and pulls really hard. And all 3 of you feel a snap on the tip of your fingers, but no pain. And then she says, it is done. The deal is made. She goes back to her sisters.
Cecilia's looking at her finger and trying to figure out what happened.
Is the curse gone?
Yes, his magic has been taken from you, and ours in its stead.
Oh, Cecilia bows deeply and says,
Now.
I'm very grateful.
To get down to business, your friend Glassstaff, he should have somewhere with him, perhaps not on his person, but in like a laboratory or a study, a number of inks. With those should be stored a viscous, clear liquid. We require this for something we are making. I believe you'll be able to find it. It has a very pungent, acrid odor, perfectly clear, thick, like an oil.
Okay.
To that end, we will need something from one of you, and I am sorry to have to ask for it, but it is requisite. I will need one of your eyes.
Manon would look cool with an eye patch.
I look to the other 2 and I like step forward. I can always get the eye of the beast. I do not need 2 eyes.
All right, yeah. So you step forward, and Rose like waves you in to come closer. And you feel 2 very long, very sharp fingernails as she reaches her hand out towards your eye socket, and they basically like push their way behind your eye, one on the top and one on the bottom, and you can like her fingernails are like touching each other behind your eye now, and then she slides in 2 more fingers, and then the pressure, it gets intense and gets intense, and all of a sudden you just lose vision in that eye, and there's like a wet pop as your eye is plucked out, and you can feel she like pinches off whatever was connecting it in the back, sort of severing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then with her
I
other
scream.
hand, yeah, it's very painful. You probably do scream. With her
Yeah.
other hand, she reaches over, sort of like palm over where your eye was, and you feel like a hot, like a heat. And you guys can all see like a bit of blood runs down Barrick's cheek, and then the bleeding stops. You can see his eye has been like almost like cauterized over. And lastly, we give you one more task to be named at a future time.
Okay. As soon as Cecilia has recovered from this display, she timidly mentions that, as you already know, ladies, we were sent here against our own will, and we were tasked with bringing back one of your heads to Glassstaff. If you could help us solve this issue, maybe give us something that would work as a substitute that would convince him, then I'm sure we would maybe have an easier time accessing his vial of viscous clear liquid.
To that end, tell Glassstaff that we were defeated,
Okay.
but that you were not able to capture any one of us alive. That we all fled and cowered and ran.
Okay.
We will move, make our presence unknown. With the materials that you can bring back to us, this should suffice for victory. I will... And she turns to Violet, or perhaps you could be of aid in this regard. And Violet chimes up and says, yes. And she gives you directions to basically another spot in the forest where you can meet them after you are complete. Essentially, there's a river like to the north, and she gives you directions to a location that you should be able to find just off of the river to the north of you guys.
And Cecilia says, I'm sorry if this displaces you, but I appreciate your help in making our story convincing to Glassstaff.
It's as important for us as it is for you.
May I ask one more thing of you before we leave?
She gives you like a half curtsy.
For someone that has spoken directly to my god, if you could please, bless me. It would be a divine honor.
Come forward. So she repeats what is basically like some sort of strange riddle that has to do with the sea, as she touches you on your head, and you can gather that those were the actual words that she heard from your god when she contacted the other plane to speak with him.
It is true. It's true. Thank you.
Carry with you the blessings of the drowned god.
I do indeed feel blessed.
I don't.
You don't look at
So Barrick, you will have disadvantage on all vision-based checks in the future,
Yep. Cool.
and you can get a sick eye patch.
Yeah. Well, I guess I have 2 eyes when I'm a beast, right? Or
You'll have
Would
to
that
see what
carry over?
happens when you wild shape.
alright. Well, we'll see. At least I can still smell and hear very good as a direwolf, so I mean, that's that. Yeah.
Hariel, where do you go?
Yes.
Where does Phoebus go?
I'm going back.
To Haystack Hall or where?
I'm going back.
So you head all
Where?
the way back to Haystack Hall.
We'll take that as a yes. Okay, right, then we also leave to go back to Haystack Hall.
Yep.
Don't we have supper? That's what they offered us in the first place.
Okay.
Yeah, they're happy to share their stew with you.
We may as well have like a full-on hardcore rest. I don't know what Phoebus is doing.
Yeah.
Phoebus is probably traversing on her own for like 2 days through a swamp.
The stew is delicious. It looks like it was cooking in like water or something, but when you actually eat it, it's got like the broth of the stew is like thick, and almost tastes like it has like a fat like emulsified in it or something, and the chunks of white meat are delicious and taste almost like a fried pork.
Yeah,
Mm.
totally. We're fucking cannibals now. But hey, delicious food is delicious food, am I right?
I ask if they know anything about a goblin camp as well. While we're eating.
Yeah, they're aware of the goblin camp in the woods. Yes. Also,
Have they-
Phoebus, roll some d20s for me.
How many do you want?
Let me count up. Three. Oh, you're lucky.
Yeah. I'm stealthing on my way through the fucking woods, man.
Solo random encounters really suck. Yeah, so you make it to your destinations, Phoebus, and you don't have any issues along the way.
Cool.
What are the three with the elven sisters doing? Like you guys are like eating, stew. Everything's delicious, and then you finish up supper.
Well, I mean, Cecilia would want to ask. I mean, if she was, she was able to feel that, Rose's hand didn't feel the way it looked, and, that sort of a thing, and I guess she'd want to ask basically why do you feel the need to disguise yourselves?
She smiles and says, "Looks can be deceiving. Perhaps when you're older, you'll do things to disguise your own appearance."
I can't fully remember. Were we tasked with stopping the goblins or not?
No.
I don't think so. No. That was what that did remind me what I was going to ask. Do the goblins threaten you at all? Have they been trouble for you?
No, we've had no trouble with the goblins.
Okay.
They're attacking a town nearby and causing trouble for the Bloodsworn.
Well, can't say they don't have it coming.
Yes. I don't know. perhaps they could be allies. I know they're normally bestial, but a distraction at least might be useful at times.
Yes, goblins are an interesting bunch. Hard to get them to do anything organized, but occasionally they can be motivated.
That is Toby.
I too.
Yeah, if Cecilia has a drink, she pours a little bit out for Toby.
Well, come tomorrow after we've had a rest, we'll go back and try and acquire you this liquid.
Do you have anything else to aid us in this quest?
Such as...
Rations? I don't know. Ale would be nice.
We tend to cook our food fresh. I can send you with some extra meat if you'd like. We have some stores, but they're not dried rations. They won't last you very long. Meat tends to go after a few days.
Anything to do with magic?
Well, roll persuasion.
Oh shit.
Can I aid him by waggling my eyebrows in a kind of
Violet, we had a couple extra potions, didn't we? I suppose, sister, but we were saving them. We have enough. Fetch them some potions. And Violet goes off into the other room and comes back with 2 standard healing potions.
Nice.
Well, I'm
Here
already
you
down
are.
to 1, so...
Yeah, same.
Should we give one between me and one for Cecilia?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you two take one each.
So basically, like, the last scene we see is the 3 of you sort of like cozying up to sleep as the and we sort of, as an audience, we see like the hag's true form, right? And so we see these like 7-foot tall, like haggard old women with like green skin and like warts and bumps all over their face, and like these long bony hands with like 3-4 inch long clawed fingernails coming off of them. And we see them sort of like not sleeping, but just like creepily watching you guys sleep. And then the camera sort of like cuts all the way over to Haystack Hall, and we just see Phoebus walking into the mansion, and like deep in the mansion we see Glassstaff having a sip of whiskey as the front door closes, and that's where today's session will end.
Oh, damn.
I was that fast, baby.
And Green Bottle will be retconned to either have actually been joining you guys, like sneaking along without you know it, or retconned to actually have followed Phoebus and be sneaking along with him and not have him know it. So I'll let him choose which fate he desires.
Wow, the plot thickens.
I seriously thought you guys were going to just fight 3 hags of a coven right here.
Yeah,
I know
outright
that would be
Fuck that.
unbelievably retarded,
That would have
wouldn't
been
it?
party
Yeah.
wipe. Game over.
Yeah, instantly.
Who would be stupid enough to do such a thing?
It'll be interesting to hear what Wing decides to do with Tinin.
I shot because you fuckers decided to go along with her.
Well, it's easy to start a fight once you're like 135 feet away.
And run
Fucking...
away.
Yeah.
It's funny because one hag not in a coven is totally killable by you guys. But hags in a coven next to each other are 12th level spellcasters. So it's like the 3 of them. There's no way you could kill them. It's impossible.
The spells they have are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Glassstaff did fucking warn us not to take them all on, just one alone, and if she was still within earshot of her sisters, there was no way we were gonna do that. But anyway, very, very interesting game today.
Yeah. Well, at least we don't have that curse anymore.
Yeah,
But
well,
Ariel
at
does.
least we don't.
I'm fine with that. I'd rather align myself with humans who are dicks than monsters.
It's
Who
gonna
are
get
nice.
really interesting next session.
Yeah, I mean, the dick humans could be the ones responsible for creating more monsters in this world, and the hags
Yeah.
might be the
No,
ones
it's
trying
the
to fix
elves
it.
and the halflings and the gnomes who made those. The dick humans just take advantage of it.
I'd rather side with evil than to someone who forcefully, put me to do their bidding. I mean, yeah.
I mean, at least we got to make this decision ourselves about doing this.
Yeah, they might still eat us, but they would have killed us in combat anyway. So I mean,
You guys are already cannibals.
No, it was just fried pork.
Sure. Where's the pig?
Barrick has actually eaten people before, so
Wait, what?
in beast form.
Oh, okay, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess I would say that when you transform into a beast, your taste buds similarly transform, and so I don't know what a dog tastes when he eats dog food, but I like to hope that it's not the same thing that I would taste if I
Yeah.
eat dog
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
But still, it's not the taste that makes people avoid cannibalism.
Oh, really?
Screaming when you cut them up.
Yeah.
For me, it's like they're delicious.
I don't know. It's a grey area. If you're in beast form when you eat someone, that's a grey area. I don't know. I don't know if that's strictly cannibalism.
There was a a serial killer who had a thing where he would put people in his chili and win chili competitions with it.
Is that what inspired
Wow.
that South Park episode?
Yes, it was.
I love it.
That's a real thing. Because what it was is he would tell people that he was making I think it was deer meat chili or something, but everybody who knew him was like, yeah, he never hunted deer. And then later they found out that he was a serial killer / cannibal.
Good times.
So you imagine if you'd been one of the judges tasting his chili.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you didn't know what it was and then you found out later, you might feel bad, but it's also you can't really feel guilty because it's you didn't make the choice to eat human, you thought it was something else, so, I don't know, I wouldn't feel guilty.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what I would feel if I'd be disturbed by that or not, and how much.
I mean, it depends how fucking lovely the chili is, right?
Yeah.
You might be like, oh, who knew? I'm
So,
gonna try human
what
again
if you
sometime.
had
It's
a
good.
digestive disorder, right? And literally every time you eat anything, you get horrible stomach cramps, so sick. And the only time that you don't is when you ate this guy's chili.
You'd be faced with quite a conundrum.
No.
Well, we'll wrap up the recording session here and say thank you to everyone on YouTube who watched. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, Aaron, very, very much, as always.
Thank you.
And thank you, Harry and Chris, for playing along with us today.
But no thank you to Wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, come
Yeah.
on. Well, hopefully he'll have
He
a
has
chance
his
to-
sister at the house. He's babysitting.
Okay,
I see.
no problem.
Yeah,
Hopefully he'll be able
I
to-
heard her while we were playing my session.
Yeah. He'll probably be able to watch these videos up on YouTube and get caught up before we have our next session. But
I'm
we'll
sure
see.
he'll love our choices.
Yeah. We'll say bye-bye for now. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.